The chaos is now in full swing as the twisted superhero drama The Boys has reached midway through Season 4. The plot has thickened as the corrupt organization Vought and the Supes, led by Homelander, seem to have a clear plan of global domination, with a Supe like Victoria Newman all set to assume a position of power in the administration at the Oval Office, and the Boys fighting inner battles. Things are all set to become even more challenging. The recently released 4th episode was one of the most shocking and violent episodes in Season 4, and after the dramatic turn of events, in this video we will be exploring the various possibilities that lie ahead for the upcoming narrative. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. What happened so far in Season 4, and how are things set up for the upcoming episodes? Before we begin the predictions for everything that can happen going ahead, let us quickly breeze through the major events that have taken place so far in Season 4. Victoria Newman is poised for the position of Vice President, and Robert Singer, the presidential candidate, wants her dead before it's too late. The Boys, guided by the CIA, have been tasked with assassinating her, but their first major attempt fails miserably. The Boys are not very coordinated at the moment because of the likes of Butcher and Mother's Milk are at odds with each other. Butcher's health has worsened and he only has a few months to live at the moment. Even Hughie's father has suffered a major health scare, and after being absent for several years, his mother suddenly shows up at his deathbed. Meanwhile, Homelander is more disturbed than ever, and he cannot come to terms with the fact that his body is showing signs of aging. His existential crisis forces him to seek out his past. In the recently released 4th episode, the orchestra is at its peak. The way too much action changes the dynamics of the narrative significantly. Starlight loses her cool when Firecracker launches a scathing personal attack on her on live television. This damages Starlight's image, and in turn, Robert Singer also faces backlash for his anti-Supe and pro-Starlight stance. We see a psychotic side of Homelander as he revisits the secret Vought facility where he was raised and experimented upon. He goes on a violent murder spree, and everyone at the facility is slaughtered as Homelander leaves with only the director Barbara alive to witness the horror. Meanwhile, a desperate Hughie gets some Compound V from A-Train, and he hopes to administer his dying father with this as a last resort. After Butcher's warnings, he decides against it, but someone still injects him with Compound V. In the final moments of the show, Hughie's father shows signs of coming back to life, and we're yet to see the effects of the drug on him. On the other hand, there are some clear indications that Butcher has a superpower, the extent of which he even doesn't know yet. So what happens next from here? Let's explore the following segments to find out. What does the title of the 5th episode imply? The title of the 5th episode, Beware the Jabberwock, My Son, seems to bear some crucial hints regarding the events of the next episode. The Boys have been known for the subtle poetic references in the episode titles, and these are usually fun, metaphorical representations of the major events in the episode. This particular title is a line from a popular Lewis Carroll poem, Jabberwocky, and the complete line goes like this: Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. It is about a father who has a warning for his son to watch out for certain terrifying beasts, and the title has a lot of significance in the current context of The Boys. If Hughie's father wakes up from his coma after being administered Compound V, he can sound alarm bells for Hughie about the dangers that can potentially come from his mother or his precarious situation. Meanwhile, the other major father-son duo, Homelander and Ryan, will also have a lot to settle in the upcoming episode. Thus, we believe that the father-son equations will be solved or complicated in the next episode, at least if the title has some real significance. Does Butcher have a living creature inside him? So far in Season 4, Billy Butcher has been away from the limelight because of his deteriorating health condition. We've seen him hallucinating and barely holding his own, but the 4th episode offers some crucial insights into his actual condition. Previously, it was thought that he is dying because of temporary V abuse to fight the Supes, but the situation is slightly different now. There is a chance that a sentient creature dwells inside him, and this might just have saved his life in a tricky situation. While trying to find finds some dirt on Firecracker inside her vanity van, Ezekiel attacks Frenchie and Butcher with his elongated arms. Butcher is put into a deadly stranglehold and he seems to be gasping for breath into tight grips before he is knocked unconscious. When he wakes up, he finds out that Ezekiel's body has been blown to bits and his mortal remains are scattered all over the room. Something saved his life even when he wasn't in full control of his consciousness. This has led to the theory that a sentient venom-like creature lives inside Butcher. This might be one of the effects of V on his body, and it might be a crazy defense mechanism that does not allow him to die. The hallucinations of his dead wife Becky might also be a part of this defense mechanism to keep him motivated. The creature inside him can also be one of the side effects of V, and it might be a fail-safe measure to kill the ones gone rogue after using V. In that case, Vought might have access to controlling the creature, and although this is an unlikely outcome, such a situation will complicate things immensely. We believe that the creature that lives inside Butcher is simply a part of his superpower acquired from the V, and he is simply not aware of it yet and does not know how to control it. If he learns to master his true powers, he can be a fitting opponent for Homelander, and all this can simply be a promising build-up to an epic fight. Did Hughie's mother administer Compound V to his father? What will be the effects of V on Hugh? Hughie's father has been a timid personality in the show, but from the looks of it, things are going to change from the next episode. After suffering a stroke, Hugh is admitted to the hospital and slips into a coma. His wife, who walked out on the family many years ago, suddenly reappears and claims to have the legal powers to take a call on his health. She decides to pull the plug on Hugh after doctors reveal the chances of recovery are next to impossible. Hughie initially fails to warm up to his mother, but comes to terms with her decision eventually. However, he also makes a secret deal with A-Train and gets his hands on some Compound V with a hope that the chemical can rejuvenate his father. After Butcher finds out and warns him against using it, Hughie decides not to go ahead with his plan, but someone still administers Compound V to his father. He is shocked to find his vegetative father steering violently in his bed, and the audience is given a glimpse of the blue Compound V slipping into his body through the IV drip. From the situation around Hugh, the clear suspect is Hughie's mom, who has rather been mysterious ever since she appeared. There has never been a clear explanation behind her sudden appearance, and clearly she has some ulterior motives. We will surely find out about her true intentions in the next episode. Compound V has already shown signs of reviving Hugh, and we have reasons to believe that with time, it will also introduce a particular superpower within him. Let's not forget that someone as famous as Simon Pegg plays the role, and it will not be surprising if the makers of The Boys have bigger plans for the character. With superpowers, Hugh can support his son in his fight against the corrupt Supes, and there's also a chance that Hugh will lose himself in the process. In that case, don't be surprised to see Hughie up against his own father if the need arises, because nothing is greater than the cause he is fighting for. All we can say at the moment is that Hughie's father is here to stay, and quite possibly with some special superpowers up his sleeve.
So you finally came to
Are the odds heavily stacked against Robert Singer and Starlight? Can their positions improve in the upcoming episodes? All it takes is a moment of weakness to jeopardize years of hard work, and Starlight finds out the hard way after she loses her composure and attacks Firecracker publicly. From a brief clip of Victoria Newman condemning the attack, it seems like Starlight is all set to lose some of her support system. Even Robert Singer, the presidential candidate, regrets his decision to support her because he is facing a backlash as well. For the sake of the story, things will become very interesting if Victoria Newman manages to remove Robert Singer from the limelight and assumes power herself. This is exactly what Homelander and Sister Stage wants and thinks will be very difficult for the boys with a Supe as president. It is quite likely that we're witnessing the downfall of Robert Singer, and there might be no way up for him anytime soon. Starlight, on the other hand, will have plenty of opportunities to redeem herself. She can prove the crimes of Firecracker, Sister Sage, and Homelander, and her violent outbursts will be forgotten by the public. Given how she is one of the main protagonists in the show, we can expect her redemption arc shortly, if not in the next episode. Also, it is worth noting that she survives in the comic books and leads a happily ever after with Hughie. And don't expect that to change much in the show. Is time running out for A-Train? He has lived long enough to become a villain, but it seems like A-Train can still die a hero. The narrative in Season 4 shows a significant change in A-Train, and he is more remorseful about his actions than ever before. He agrees to help out the boys with some invaluable evidence to free the wrongfully accused Starlight followers, and in Episode 4 he even acquires Compound V for Hughie from Homelander's quarters. These high-risk endeavors make it seem like his days are numbered, and that might as well be the case with smart individuals like Sister Sage keeping an eye on him. It is only a matter of time before Homelander discovers his betrayal, and the punishment will be brutal. A-Train will probably die a hero, and despite his wrongs, he will get an opportunity to undo it all. Will Homelander completely lose his sanity? Homelander has never been a normal individual, but with time his psychological issues have only worsened. Currently, he seems to have crossed all barriers, and his violent actions in the secret Vought facility points to the fact that he has completely lost it. He enjoys the brutal killings, and his vengeance goes to extreme levels. Moreover, his son Ryan is not exactly behaving like he would want, and this has further aggravated his insecurities. In the graphic novels, Homelander launches an attack to take over the U.S. government entirely, and we cannot rule out such a thing from happening in the show. We don't expect him to mellow down in the upcoming episodes, and you can prepare yourselves for a few more violent showdowns from him. His unpredictable nature and uncalculated moves will trigger a major chaos that even someone like Sister Sage can fail to contain.
You look great. Really suits you.
What if Sister Sage changes allegiances? We've already spoken about this in our earlier videos about how Sister Sage is not really an evil Supe. She is undeniably twisted and many of her actions don't have a valid reason, but she is not in favor of unnecessary killings and violence. In fact, the stress of working for Homelander has pushed her to the point where she had to perform lobotomy on herself for a few moments of relaxation. In this situation, we cannot help but wonder how long it will take for the smartest person on the planet to realize that Homelander is not the right person to support. There is a major chance that she will switch sides when the opportunity is right, and we also believe that there is a slim possibility that she has a whole different game going on that we don't know about yet. Homelander and Vought are simply pawns in her larger equation, and we may see a whole different side of Sister Sage in the upcoming episodes.
What? You love him so much, when did you get him to be your dad?
No, I don't want him to be my dad. You're my...
Can Ryan be saved from Homelander? Of late, this is all that Butcher is concerned about, and his previous goal of eliminating Supe seems to have taken a backseat. Even in the 4th episode, we have seen him request MM to take care of Ryan as his own, and wishing for an opportunity for Ryan to live a different life than Homelander. On the other hand, Homelander is distraught about the fact that Ryan is not too happy in his life of luxury and fame. His concern for Butcher irks Homelander even more, and we expect a twisted Supe to make a special effort to get Ryan to stick by his side. The next episode might be a make-or-break moment for Ryan, and we can see him siding with the good or evil, and this will ultimately determine the fate of his character in the long run. The show has been positioned on a cliffhanger, and the fans will be eager to find out the answers to so many questions that have been raised in Season 4. Tell us your thoughts in the comments below about what you think of these issues, and also write about your take on the future of the narrative going ahead. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.